Who's ready? Who's ready to start the day? Ready to start a new season? Winter is over. Let's check this out. It's gorgeous outside. Oh, yep, there you go. Cat on a string. 46 degrees, 10:24 on January 25th. Grass is green. One day in a row with no snow on the ground after 11 days in a row with snow on the ground. There are the mergansers swimming. Yeah, winter is over, right? Let's do the ice bucket challenge. Day 3 of the thaw for me. Will this ice completely disappear? Almost time to do windows again. It may. 46 degrees, but the high temperature for the day already occurred. That was 52 degrees at Logan Airport anyway. I didn't really check mine. At about 8:30 this morning, 8:45. And then the air came around from the north a little bit, and the temperature's gone back down to the mid-40s. We've had 2 pulses out of the Gulf of Mexico in the last 2 days. Last night's was snow in central and northern Maine, day 22 in a row with accumulating snow here at the New England Outdoor Club Cam. Everyone getting ready to go snowmobiling on this beautiful day. Spent some time watching the Brownville, Maine food pantry for deer this morning. And the sun came out and I watched them get fed. That was extraordinary. Live streaming cam there. T-Rex even checked it out for a few minutes. T-Rex enjoyed it. He's like, I can hear them eating and I can see them, but why can't I smell them? Because T-Rex, we have not invented smell-o-vision yet. You're not going over the edge. No, you're not. No, you're not. Hey, look, there's some snow. Some snow left in the farm. What kind of farm? Yeah, critter farm. Steve, it's very close to the edge. Pay attention here. Steve. Anyhow, so beautiful morning here. The front has settled just off to the south, and it continues to rain this morning near the south coast of New England. That rain's going to lift back during the day, and so it's mostly dry. Quite a bit of ice and fog in northern New England last night. That new web camera at Canon this morning, dense fog. And as a matter of fact, dense fog advisory in effect for nearly half of the lower 48 of the United States. Look at the size of that gray area. Fog occurs for a different reason. Sometimes it's advection, sometimes it's radiation. Well, this has to do with the fact that it was so cold the last couple of weeks. The ground is kind of frozen solid. And now it's warming up everywhere and the humidity's coming up, so it's almost like a huge freezer door being left open in the summertime. You see the fog roll out as the temperature cools to the dew point. In this case, the dew point has gone above the temperature of the ground. That's why we have such dense fog. All right, T-Rex is whining. I think I'm going to let him in because Mommy just got home and he wants to go up there and see if there's any food. It's you and me now, Steve. T-Rex has gone up looking for food. All right, so last night was the second pulse of energy coming out of the Gulf of Mexico in the last 2 days. The first one was snow for me. And then last night was rain. We'll go check the rain gauge too. And the next pulse is coming back north tonight. So I'll just do the timing and then I'll get you to the rain gauge. The green is rain. Here comes the clock in the upper left. Once you get past 7 p.m., that's now we're talking about tomorrow in Greenwich, England, 3, 4Z, 5Z is midnight, 6Z, 7, 8. Oh, slow it down now, slow it down. And 10Z is 6 a.m. Look at all the different colors. Blue, snow, purple, sleet, red, freezing rain, green, rain. Slowly advance, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, 15Z. Now, rain changing to snow in northern Vermont. So it's going to snow at the ski areas tomorrow, day 23 in a row of snow. The back edge of that pulls out. And tomorrow night, we dry it out. There'll probably be a lot of fog around here, fairly quiet. With what you cannot see on this is a front stalled in southern New England. We're all on the cooler side of the front. The sun may or may not come out on Saturday. morning. And then Saturday afternoon, just to get to day 24 in a row of snow, here comes a little impulse out of New York with another quick burst of snow late in the day on Saturday. That is the NAM, 3 kilometer highest resolution NAM, very similar to the RGEM. Looking at the sky, you see some blue sky over Boston. Look at this satellite image. There's a little hole in the clouds over parts of New England, but overall it is just a massive cloud that stretches from the Rockies to the Atlantic Ocean to the Gulf of Mexico into central Canada. So that's a little bonus sunshine for parts of New England today. And in the Gulf of Mexico, let's focus in. There's just a tremendous amount of energy. Flooding rain has been occurring now in Texas and Louisiana, and there could be some severe storms. This is the same system that brought a couple inches of rain to San Diego with that flooding a couple days ago. Anyhow, a piece of that breaks off and comes through here tonight. And then let's go to the lower 48 and widen out, because in a low confidence forecast, you don't want to use high resolution close-up views. You want to use wide views. This next pulse of energy coming out of the Gulf of Mexico is going to be the last one for us. And here it comes to the north with rain spreading into parts of Pennsylvania and New York late Sunday. And then Sunday night, all of a sudden the green is changing into blue, and it is snowing across much of central and southern New England as high pressure builds to the north. Very important ingredient. High to the north fuels the cold air coming down on a wind from the north and northeast, and that low pressure system now deepening through the 990s is slowing down and deepening into the 980s, and looks like apparently stalling south of New England and then retrograding west and then out. I call that the blizzard loop. I'm not saying there's going to be a blizzard. I'm just saying that a storm that does that south of Nantucket is very similar to how that storm on February 5th, 1978 behaved. We had a blizzard loop back then, and if this Euro is right, we would have something similar happening here on Sunday into Monday, with that snow could be very heavy in southeastern Massachusetts. Most of the guidance does have a system, but this Euro is the worst case scenario, so why not show it? I mean, I show the Euro every day anyway. All right, so then that pulls out and we're left with cold, windy weather Tuesday. Wednesday, kind of quiet. Now, instead of from the Gulf of Mexico, our air is coming from central Canada and eastern Canada second half of next week. While most of the nation warms up, here in the Northeast, we have our private cool pool, well, shared from southeastern Canada, Quebec and the Newfoundland Labrador area. The air is kind of backing in our direction, and on Friday, Groundhog Day, is another front coming through here, and then on Friday night and Saturday, that's February 3rd, that would be a Norlund instability trough, and there's no way that I can get Weir to agree to that until it's about 48 hours out. But that's a serious upper level pool of cold air, very unstable, wind coming in off the ocean. If that verifies, next Saturday could be the spectacle of the winter in parts of eastern New England. Not that this Monday looks bad. So this winter has featured plenty of warm air, but if you noticed, every time there's been a change in the pattern from warm to cold or cold to warm, it has come with snow. Minor amounts of snow last 2 days, but we're now past 67 inches of snow on Mount Washington for the month. And here's the 10-day snowfall forecast. You can see it quite a bit down there, all the way into New Mexico. Wow. And in the southeastern Massachusetts, another bullseye, very close to Cape Cod next week, if this verifies, with nothing in the middle of the nation where it's going to warm up, and we're going to hear all the headlines about record warm and how warm winters are and everything, even as we're getting cold and snow again on the sort of backside of this thaw. And another deep freeze possible. Boy, did I stick my foot in the mouth, my foot in my mouth a couple days ago, talking about a warm first week of February. Here's the Boston 14 day. It's not registering that Monday storm yet, but it does show that the cold is coming in to hold here in New England, and most of the guidance agrees with it, so it's not just a one run of one model. Yesterday, kind of not a fun day for Enmore. It was, pretty looking at the snow and doing the snow report up there in the woods and watching my neighbor shovel the snow. I said, it's going to melt. He goes, yeah, but I like the exercise. So some of us do it for exercise and for fun. And then the snow is melting. So the Enmore is just my day of the snow melting. And I tried my hand at chicken dumplings last night. They didn't come out perfect, but they were tasty. And so I love getting more into cooking. Should we start a cooking channel? Oh, yes. And also, got to go check the rain gauge. The tree came down last night. The cats love to hang out, and so does T-Rex under the tree, but you know, you can't have that forever. And that will be an evening fire one of these days. And how much precipitation? I did empty it yesterday, so wow, respectable. Holy moly. A ½ inch of rain. So what are we now passing? 8 inches of rain for the month of January, and melted snow combined. So if that were snow at my house, it would have been about 5 inches. And fortunately, that ice last night in Maine ended, and this next storm's coming in. Another about, Russ Murley up around Rangeley, he says I picked up about 0.15 inches of ice, and probably get about the same tonight. So just shy of damaging ice storm, but that locks our snow in place, and it's better than just plain rain. All right, and more, and more, and more. Talk to you tomorrow, hopefully. If I do one tomorrow, it's gonna be very fast. Steve, can you look at the camera, please? Steve? No? All right, and more. Better shovel pretty quickly because it's gonna melt fast.
Yeah, I need the exercise.
Yeah, exactly. It's fun.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not bad. Geez, I like the winter you're giving to us so fast. That's good.
Yeah, it snows when it's 35 degrees.
Well, looks like last year I didn't even have to use the shovel once.
I know, really.
I did it a couple of times already.
It's almost like a regular winter. This is the 5th time it snowed in 2 weeks.
Yeah, geez,
And it's all the way up to what, an inch?
I don't think it's even that much.
I know, really. Somehow we keep managing to pull a rabbit out of our hat. Hope we can do it again next week. Raccoon? I would say raccoon. What else? Snow is melting rapidly. I'm not going to be able to track anything around here, I don't think, for a little while. Maybe next Sunday night. This is that little spot where some of my neighbors put their compost. I don't know why they chose here, but critters know about it. I think that would be raccoon tracks right there, right? TK has to be very careful going down here. No problem. Drizzle, 38 degrees, waiting on a green light in Hingham. We got more snow last night, Charlie. You up in New Hampshire or us in Weymouth? This is 6 hours into melting. We got over an inch and a quarter last night, even though the temperature was 37 the whole time. It's melting now. It'll come back to green grass. These prints were not here a short time ago. So something just came through, checked out my yard, and then went over to the neighbor's yard. No, it wasn't a bird. Rabbit. I think it was a rabbit. Straight up noon update, 37 degrees, steady drizzle. People are like, why did you shovel? Well, it actually was a little slick on that spot right there just now. But you can see we've got the right kind of tires, right? I did a little of the sidewalk. That'll be gone by 4. All right. You think it's possible I'm done with the and more by now? And more and more and more? Yeah, right. Board meeting concluded. It's still about 37, 38 degrees. Snow is actually hanging on better today than it did yesterday. You know where I am, right? Drizzle, still on the colder side of the front. As the sun heads for the horizon. 11th day in a row with snow on the ground. I'll just show you over here. Lack of solar input today made a big difference. It melted faster yesterday with the sun out than it did today. Just to elevate the emotional hardship of snow turning into rain. Mitt loves the Christmas tree, but it has to come down. And he's like, I protest. I'm going to sit in this bag. You are not going to put anything away on my watch. T-Rex is like, what's going on? And more and more and more. Steve is around here somewhere too. Steve is wondering what's going on. There's nothing under there. We're putting away the lights for the season. Everybody's here. All right. That's it. And more and more and more. Sorry, guys. It has to happen. They love being underneath the tree, as you can see. He just wants to know what's going on. What's going on? What's going on? Next season,